Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again here on your community station, WYAD 94.1 FM, or online, of course, through WYADonline.com. In 2017, we had an opportunity to recognize some of the legends of radio in Yazoo City, Yazoo County. And one of those legends is actually joining us today, an individual who's been able to make his mark in radio, but also, of course, to set an example as to what's possible from those who are coming from the Yazoo City, Yazoo County area. We're excited to welcome Daryl Briggs to our program today. You know him as DJ Lowrider. We're going to talk to him not only about his time in radio, but also what it was like for him to do what he loves and to be able to show other people about what's possible for them. Mr. Briggs, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Yeah, hey, hello to you. Thank you.
Hey, really excited to speak with you. As I said, in 2017, we had a chance to be able to remind people of those who kind of paved the way for individuals like myself and others who have been able to have an experience in radio. What has it been like for you to kind of reflect on your time in radio and what you were able to do?
Well, working in radio, I really enjoyed it. I came from Yazoo City, and just a school kid who one day wandered over to the radio station and was allowed to sit in on one of the programs and watch the DJ, Bobby Little, watch the DJ how he worked the board and his link to call-in stations program that he had, and I did it for a couple of days and. After that, he asked me, he said, "You think you can do this?" And I said, "I think I can do that." And he said, "You want to?" I said, "Yeah." And so from then on, this is where we came.
Right, for sure. Did you know at the time when you started in radio that you would be able to make the impact that you were able to make?
I did not, but I met so many people, a lot of artists that I met. And just moved on from there. That's it.
Yeah. Talk to us about the times at that point, because one of the things that was interesting to me when I was interviewing some of the other legends of radio, Mr. Briggs, is the challenging times that some of them dealt with, and also how radio was different in that it was not only a place of entertainment, but also for keeping people informed. What was it like for you during that time?
It was also entertainment and keeping the community informed. During the time, we really had no local coverage from the television stations and the stations that were there. I believe we had a country music station at that time, but a lot of no coverage of our area of town, should I say? The community.
Right. Right, and I think that is the thing, and I think people don't really realize. I know a lot of times when we think about radio today, we don't realize, the importance of it. Did you know at the time that that's where a lot of people were getting their information from?
Yes, I did, because other than just the neighborhood chit chat, people look forward to their church events, their social events, and they were getting it from radio.
Yeah. Well, I think that is the big thing for sure. I mean, to realize the impact of radio and of course what it was able to do. As far as that career, I mean, what was the time period that you were actually on the radio, Mr. Briggs?
Now let's see here. I believe it was 1974 or 75. I was still a young man in high school. Mm-hmm. And we were having a program that enabled us to get out of school early, if we were pursuing a craft. And so I did take advantage of that. And I worked there at the radio station for, I believe it was 2 hours a day. And that started back in 75, I believe it was.
Got you. And I think, again, that was a changing time. I'm 75, ironically, was the year that I was born. And so, I tell people I was born at an interesting time, in this country, but also in Mississippi. Talk to us about that. I know that you live outside the state now. I mean, what was it like for you to kind of see the changes that have taken place in Mississippi?
It's a lot has changed. We've got different venues now as far as radio stations. There are more events. As a matter of fact, I believe there's a station now in Jackson that is actually black-owned. We didn't have many black-owned stations in Mississippi at the time.
Yeah. And I think, for a lot of people, as they kind of think about it, Mr. Briggs, that in itself seems like such a big deal. I mean, to be able to have something that is owned by individuals of color, for sure. Did you know at the time, and this is another question I have for you. Did you know at the time that there could be an opportunity for change, an opportunity for growth, and that people could be able to do more and achieve more if they were willing to put in the work?
Yes. We saw it with those that came, that came before us. They just didn't have, the financial backing in order to, to get these things done.
Yeah. Well, I think, the other side of this, too, is that not only, of course, the finances, but now with the Internet, I think, there are so many things that are possible now through the Internet. We're having this conversation. You and I have never met in person that I know of, but we're able to have this conversation today thanks to technology and be able to broadcast it not only here from the radio in Yazoo City, but for the world. I mean, what has that been like for you personally to see the advancements in technology?
Man, it's great. It's great. You don't necessarily have to have a physical building and transmitter, like the old transmitters that we used to have. They took up a lot of space, and you actually have to have a physical area in order to broadcast. Now with the Internet, you can do it from your home.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure, and I think that is one of the big things. For those who are just tuning in either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome DJ Daryl Briggs to our program. You all know him as Lowrider from Yazoo City, but been able to accomplish some amazing things and being an example for other people. I've said that now a few times about your being an example. Do you see yourself as an example, Mr. Briggs, of what other people can achieve?
Yes. I think the matter of it is to first of all do something that you love, and once you find something that you love, it's really not hard to keep going and to go further up the ladder.
Yeah. And I think, again, that is another great thing. Now, what is it that when you were leaving Yazoo City, one of the things that we talk about a lot on this program, Mr. Briggs, is about overcoming fear. Were you excited about the opportunity of what you could do outside the state, or what was that experience like for you to leave?
Well, not ever leaving before. When I did, yes, it was exciting, because I wanted to explore other areas of the country, and we went out to the West Coast, and it was just a totally different way of life. It was a lot more. Let me see here. The opportunities were there were more opportunities there.
Right, for sure.
Yes.
And I think opportunities are one of the big things that all of us can kind of be able to look forward to. I myself, I'm so glad that we had a chance to talk, Mr. Briggs, because I think, a lot of times what happens is that, we don't give enough credit to individuals who helped to pave the way. And I know that it was Mr. Joseph Thomas Sr., I believe, who spoke with you about being able to come on our program. One of the things I noticed as we had the 2017 recognition, and we're glad to have you as part of our 2018 recognition, is how appreciative those who were being honored, how much they appreciated that. How does that feel to know that people do appreciate your contribution, not only to radio, but also as an example from Yazoo City?
Oh man, listen, it's great. It's great. When I first heard about it, I mean, it's like I was just overwhelmed, and I really appreciate Mr. Thomas and WBYT, BYP. I'm sorry, for actually making that come to fruition. The recognition of what we did there in Yazoo City.
Right. And it's something that I hope that other people, and this is, I know, something that Mr. Thomas hopes as well, other people realize the importance of doing, and that is to be able to recognize those who really, I think, help to set the stage for all of us. And I think that is the big thing for sure. So, I mean, I know that I'm not really sure about this part. Mr. Briggs, how often are you able to come back to the Yazoo City or Mississippi area?
I try to come maybe twice a year.
Okay. So what has it been like for you?
Right.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to ask you that question, what has it been like for you to see the changes that have taken place there?
Some are good. Some are good. Some are good. Some are good. But I still see a lot of improvement. That could be done.
Right. And I appreciate you saying that, because you're right. I mean, there's, just because there have been some improvements, some advancements, I mean, there's always going to be work for us to do. And I think that's why we have to be so diligent in being able to make sure that we are not moving backwards, but moving forward, and being able to keep Yazoo City, Yazoo County moving forward, but also, of course, being able to keep the state of Mississippi moving forward as well. And we thank you again for the work you were able to do. Again, everyone, Mr. Daryl Briggs has been our guest. You know him as DJ Lowrider, of course, from Yazoo City, but been able to do some amazing things, and definitely been able to not only show us as a legend of radio in Yazoo what is possible, but also as an individual what is possible. One of the big things that you said, Mr. Briggs, I hope our audience takes away from it, is to not be afraid to go for opportunities. I tell people all the time,
that's right.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to better yourself, to do things better for your family, and to take advantage of those opportunities. So we applaud you for what you've been able to do, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and we appreciate you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live.
All right. Hello, Yazoo.